Shadow Legacy is shaping up to be one of the best seasons of Rainbow Six Siege we've had in a very long time, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. I've been looking at these changes closely, and in this video, I'm going to show you guys some of my potential concerns with some of the decisions Ubisoft has made when making this season. I won't waste any more of your time, so let's get right into the video. First off, I wanted to talk about Nook. Now, it's been said a long time throughout the community that pretty much the one thing holding Nook back is the lack of an ACOG. Well, here coming up in Shadow Legacy, Nook got her wish. She actually has the introduction of the 1.5 times magnification sight that she will be able to equip to her FMG9, and it works with her like really good. I don't know if you guys have played the test server yet, but if you have the chance, make sure to get Nook and equip the 1.5 scope to her. My god, is she amazing. I don't know about you guys, but with the introduction of the 1.5 scope, I'm gonna be putting that on a lot of my weapons because it really is the best of both worlds when you consider the fluctuation of close quarter combat versus long range engagements that you do get typically here in Siege. Now, with that being said, Nook equipping into her FMG9, which has virtually no recoil, is actually really good. Now, the FMG9 is not an amazing attacker weapon by any stretch of imagination. Like, we know this, that's not the greatest attacker weapon, but once Nook enters the building, it's actually on par or better than a lot of the other defending weapons in the game, which is very scary. Now, I didn't even mention the fact yet that she's going to be getting the new secondary gadget hard breaching device, which is actually really good. And Nook, you guys, you got to think about this. Nook now has two of the best secondary gadgets at her disposal. Now, of course, you can only choose one, but she does have frag grenades or the hard breaching gadget. So whatever you kind of decide you need to do for that round, say no one wants to play hard breach, or say you might need an extra set of grenades, you now have the ability to pick what is the best for Nook. Everybody mark my words, come Shadow Legacy, Nook's pick and win rate is going to increase, I think, by a lot. Next thing I want to talk about is the possible toxicity and manipulation of the brand new system that Ubisoft added to Siege. I'm talking about the reinforcement pool. So instead of operators bringing 2 reinforcements each totaling 10, now what you're going to be able to do as a defender is you're going to be able to pull from a pool of 10 reinforcements. So you can quite literally have one person put all 10 reinforcements down. And this is actually a really good system added to the game because it helps out Capcan mains, Jaeger mains, Mute mains, operators that have so much stuff to do in the prep phase, while you have other operators like Doc, Vigil, Rook that have absolutely nothing to do in the prep phase. So this can actually help them out a lot, where say Vigil or Doc or Rook or whatever can grab 4 reinforcements while the other operators have a lot of stuff to do in the prep phase and don't have to do as much anymore. And of course, with all things added to Siege, there can be a way to manipulate or turn it into a toxic mechanic. And I'm going to tell you why I think this is going to happen. I can already picture this. I can already picture a toxic teammate who, you know, he already team killed or something, so he can't team kill another person or shoot another person because it's going to hit himself. Another way he's going to be able to get toxic the team is he's going to run off the site at the beginning of the round and to some other room or to across the map from some pointless area, nowhere near site. He's going to start throwing up a ton of reinforcements back to back. Maybe potentially by the time defense even really knows what's going on, that someone's being super toxic on the team and, you know, putting up reinforcements not on site. Maybe by the time that defense realizes it's already too late, and, you know, garage wall might not be reinforced, or some really important walls might not be able to be reinforced because the toxic player took 4 or 5 reinforcements to the other side of the map just to be toxic. It's unfortunate and it's sad, but this is something that I do think probably, and honestly, it probably will happen. Like, let's just be real, especially in casual, or, you know, if you have a teammate in ranked who's just trying to throw, it's going to happen. Like, it's just gonna happen. And it's really sad because Ubisoft does try really hard to limit the toxicity and negate some of the toxicity in Siege, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's our fault. We, the community, are the reason why it's toxic. Now, not everybody at all is toxic in the game, but the reason why toxicity happens is because of the players. That's not Ubisoft's fault. That's just something that you're going to get in a competitive first-person shooter. I'm rambling now. I'm just saying, you know, don't blame Ubisoft. This is a really good addition to the game. It's just, it can potentially be manipulated. Another thing I want to talk about that could potentially be a mistake here in Operation Shadow Legacy is going to be the introduction of Zero, or better known as Sam Fisher. Guys, he is amazing. It's actually such a weird feeling to say new operators are really good, because for the longest time, but I'm thinking all the way back to where Outback was released with Mozzie and Gridlock, for the longest time, the newest operators have quite literally sucked. And all the way up until Ace and Melusi in the Operation Steel Wave. And then now we're getting another operator back, or another season back to back, where the operator is actually really good. And Sam Fisher Zero is amazing. He is a all-in-one complete package. He is a fragger. He's got a really good weapon. He is an intel operator, his gadget. He also is a very good utility clearer. Not only is his gadget good at getting intel, it can also clear utility. We're talking ADSs, WOMIs, mirror windows, mirror windows. Like, it's insane. And also he's got frag grenades to complete his kit. I don't know about you guys, but that is a recipe for a super good operator. Now, I'm not complaining at all. Like, I'm not complaining. He's really fun to play. Zero, Sam Fisher, whatever you want to call him. He's really fun to play. The gun is really good. It's so fun to use. His gadget's super fun. He's got frag grenades. The thing is I think he's going to be too strong, maybe. And he's going to be picked a lot. And, I think he might shadow some other operators. He might push some other operators, lower other operators' pick rates, because he's going to be really fun to play. Not only does he have a lot of lore behind him, especially with all the Splinter Cell games, but it's just overall a great operator and the new operator. So I think Shadow Legacy, you're going to be seeing a lot of Zero, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, at least so far, but I'm actually glad to see another really good attacking operator come to the game, to be honest. Next, I want to talk about map ban and how this new mechanic that Ubisoft adds to the game can potentially be manipulated as well. But same thing with the reinforcement pools. This is a really good addition and quality life improvement to the game. But of course, like everything, it can be manipulated. Right now, if memory serves right, in the test server, you are able to see if you are attacking or defending first before you do map bans. And there's an issue to them because, say, for example, the attacking team, they ban a map, whatever, and you're on the defending team and you're choosing between coastline and Outback. You are going to choose Outback. If you are smart, you're going to choose Outback, because it is a highly defender-sided map. Even if you are like somewhat of a competent team, you are pretty much going to win if you are defending first on Outback. So that's some way that it could be manipulated a little bit. If you are able to know if you're attacking or defending first, that could kind of sway what your map ban is going to be. I think it might be a better option if it's unknown to you, if it's unknown to the teams, the players. If you are going to be attacking or defending first, I think that's going to be a better option. Now that I think about it, I think there is some strategy to it. Like, if you are defending or attacking first, that might sway your map ban pick. But at the end of the day, I just think it's not fair. Say you're attacking and you're like picking first, and you have to pick a crappy map, and then the defenders get to pick a defender-sided map. Like, I just think that's just not fair. Like, am I the only one person here? Comment down below if you think that it should be a thing where you shouldn't know if you're attacking or defending first before you pick a map ban. One last thing I want to talk about is my girl Hibana, and it's another season where Ubisoft just absolutely crapped on her. They took away her ACOG and gave her the 1.5. Now, I know I said earlier that I really do like the 1.5 scope. Like, it's gonna be my favorite, the best of both worlds, but that might not be the case with some players. Some players might be really comfortable and consistent with the ACOG scope, which is actually a 2.5 magnification. Now let's try and rattle off all the things that Ubisoft has done against Hibana. Number one, I mean, she does have a pretty good gun, but it is limited heavily by the 21 round mag. She has the bearing 9, but it was nerfed to oblivion from the recoil nerfs. She doesn't really have great secondary gadgets. Ace can do everything she can, but better. And then also a good amount of operators here are going to have the secondary hard reaching device, further limiting the desire to play Hibana. And now she lost her ACOG. I swear Ubisoft must not want people to play Hibana, apparently. Now I am super excited for this season coming up. Operation Shadow Legacy is really shaping up to be a fantastic season and one of the best that we've had in a long time. There just needs to be a few things tweaked or changed that could make this a perfect season. Now, I am 100% for the Nook buff. Trust me, I am. I love playing Nook. I felt like the longest time, one of her biggest limitations is the lack of a really good magnification scope to make her decent at long engagements. And now she has that. The introduction of the 1.5 scope is going to help out Nook a lot. And the option of the versatility to choose either between frag grenade or the hard reaching device is going to help her a lot. I just think that it's just going to be scary knowing that Nook is going to be played more now. You're gonna have to watch your backs more as defenders. And I'm actually really excited to see how good she is throughout the community. And to be honest, with all the crazy amount of stuff that Ubisoft added in this season, the sheer amount of just meta changing stuff that they have added, there is actually all pretty much praise throughout the community. There is hardly anything I would change. You guys gotta give Ubisoft credit for that, honestly. It's something that's really hard to do when you add in so much different stuff to change up the game and everybody's liking it, and there's hardly any changes that anyone would think about it. Hats off to Ubisoft, like seriously. Well, that's all I got for you. Now it's your turn to tell me something. Are you really excited for Operation Shadow Legacy, or are you kind of disappointed? You can let me know by leaving a comment down below. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications if you're new. Now with all that being said, yuppie out.